You serious?
So there's plenty of ways to kill some time out there. Right now you're killing some time with Marcus Bronzy.
And Joe Forrester.
That's correct. Joe, 17th of February, John Wick Chapter 2 is coming out. You might be listening to this podcast before then. You might be listening to this show after then. But I will say that it's going to be our killer bit for this week. And have you seen the first John Wick film? Because this is the second one with the name Chapter 2. Have you seen the first John Wick film, Joe?
I haven't.
Really?
No, I haven't.
You're into your films, you know, though. So why have you not seen that then?
It's, to be honest, right, because I've worked on like a lot of different like film shows and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I used to only really go and see films when I got sent to see them.
Right.
Which I know makes me sound like an absolute knob, but it's like, so say like if you're covering films and stuff and like doing premieres and things like that, if you get sent to see a film, then I go and see it. And I don't actually, it's just not one I covered, so I didn't go to the cinema to go and see it. But I know all about it. It's basically Keanu Reeves being a graceful assassin who goes to war over his dead dog. Is that right?
Yeah, man. Like when you try and explain, like I really struggled trying to explain the first film to people. I was like, it's this kick-ass guy, yeah, but somebody kills his dog, and he kicks ass, and everyone's like, what do you mean he kills everybody in a film because they kill his dog? I'm like, no, but you don't get it. Like his wife got him the dog. Yeah, but it's a dog. I'm like, no, obviously you're not a dog kind of person, are you?
Isn't it just based on like it's that's kind of like a jumping off point for the action?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
And it's basically like a lot of modern action films, and even like Bourne to a certain extent, influenced by The Raid. So like these films which turn fight sequences into like a ballet, this incredibly well orchestrated, sort of beautiful dance of violence. That's
it. And for someone who hasn't seen the first film, you've kind of described it. I mean, like, it's really impressive. Like, Keanu Reeves gets stuck in and does a lot of the MMA stuff himself in the first film and also in the second film. So yeah, that was a great film. Kind of, I think I watched it, and I don't feel like it really got the love in the cinema that it should have for a first film. Kind of like the first Taken film. I think a lot of people saw it on a small screen, and then it wasn't until the second film came out that they were like, right, we're going to go to the cinema and see this. And John Wick 2 kind of carries on from where the first film left off, so I don't want to spoil it if you haven't seen the first one, but there's some unfinished business, a debt that he has to repay, and because of the way he goes around repaying that debt, he doesn't just have the wrath of like a boss like you get in a film. He has the wrath of other assassins that are trying to sort of handle him as well, so it kind of elevates the whole sort of storyline to a different level.
Oh shit.
I was just you know, when you hear how it kicks off in the film, you're like, oh my gosh, this is an impossible task. How's he going to get around it?
But you know, some films, right, so like I think it's a guy thing as well, so I'm happy to I'll sit and watch Schindler's List, right? I want to go deep, and I want to feel, and I want to emote, and I want to really live with these characters, but also fundamentally all men are 10-year-old boys deep down. So I just want to see some guy beating the shit out of another guy. So have you ever seen a film called Pacific Rim?
Yes,
right.
That's my shit. That's my shit.
Exactly, mate.
Yes.
I went to see this, right, with an ex. She was so bored. I don't think I've ever been so excited in my life. Giant robots fighting giant monsters. Idris Elba doing a crap American accent.
Yes.
Go on then. Yes.
Shit, it was like Power Rangers and Transformers combined with all the best elements
with
of
Luther in it.
With Luther in it. So it's Luther in a big fuck off robot. And none of the shit with Power Rangers where you got to wait for them to morph. They morph straight away. They get into the robots and kick ass.
No intelligence needed, no brain power. It's just like, see this massive thing and this massive thing. Yeah, they're going to batter each other.
Exactly.
And you kind of need that from a film sometimes.
Exactly. So if you're looking for an intellectually stimulating film, no, this is not that. Pick another one. If I'm honest, it took a little bit of a while for it to kind of kick in. Like I was kind of waiting for it. I was like, oh, come on, man. But when it did get there, it got there. And like the MMA's kind of that he's leveled up. I mean, what would I like I felt like it was the best sort of action I've seen in terms of grittiness since the first Transporter film.
Really?
But it was more real. Like he does a lot of real MMA grapples. Like if you watch UFC and stuff like that, the grapples that he does are real. The way that and I'm not a gun expert, but the way that he's checking the ammo and reloading the guns is apparently how you're meant to actually do it. Like you know, in films you'll see guys do like a one-handed shotgun reload and stuff like that. None of that stuff. He properly reloads
the whole gun on the side thing is not happening.
Yeah, none of that. So he doesn't just turn it sideways and shoot shit up. He's like checking bullet numbers and stuff like that. And you get a little, there's a surprise, it's not a cameo, but there's an actor in the film who he's worked with before on one of his biggest films that you get to see again.
Okay.
So I don't want to spoil who that is, but it's a nice little bit of chemistry. You're like, oh shit, I haven't seen them on screen for a long time.
And one of the things I know about the film as well, because I have seen a particular scene or a sequence on YouTube, is with a lot of action films, and again with The Raid, which I mentioned before, but also the Bourne films. So those original 3 Bourne films, 3 of my favourites of all time, reinvented the action genre as far as I'm concerned. Paul Greengrass, the way he did it, very sort of visceral, real fighting, but what he did was a lot of extremely quick jump cuts, handheld camera, very, very close to the action. Now, the particular scene I've seen from John Wick, the first movie, is the camera's almost static. It's locked off in a wide shot, and it lets it unfold almost like if you're playing Mortal Kombat or something, and it's people coming in from either side. And what that means is, like a piece of choreography, everybody's got to get every single thing right. You can't redo that because it's all done in one continuous take, and that just lets the action speak for itself, and that's a very, very different approach to it.
Yeah, man, you get a lot of that in this film as well, and I can't even lie, like you're looking at this, you know, I think he's almost 50, Keanu, now, yeah? Close to 50 years old.
I think he's older. I saw him on Graham Norton, and he's 52, I think he said he was, but he's sort of got the aura of Jesus a little bit.
So you got this 52-year-old man, like, knocking out these fight scenes that last a minute at a time. That's a long time, because remember, you got to reshoot that. Like, you could spend a day just going cut, go again, cut, and he's properly getting involved in the grapples. So good film, man, good kick-ass film. I'd take my girlfriend to it. Because I don't care, I like it. But if she's not into that kind of film, don't. I
would happily get stuck into that. I think it's a date movie's got to be for you as well as them.
Yeah, fuck them.
For all the times you've sat through The Notebook, John Wick 2.
Exactly. You know, I just refuse that sort of stuff now. So that's my killer bit for this week, man. Or for this episode, really. Check out John Wick 2. So, Joe, I promise I've not been saving sex-related articles for when you come on the show, but there's a site, I don't know if you've heard about it, actually. It's called Pornhub. It's this hub for porn. I don't know if you've heard about it.
No, not my sort of thing, no.
Yeah, so it's this website called Pornhub.com have launched a sexual health centre. And Pornhub's featured on How to Kill an Hour quite a lot, actually. They've been quite revolutionary with ideas. They've brought blind porn to the table. They've brought 3D porn to the table as well. And they also helped to introduce us to one of our big hitter episodes, which was the dildo drone. So thank you very much to that, Pornhub. So now they've opened a sexual health centre, which helps you to educate yourself about sexual health, teach you everything from sort of contraceptive use to sort of, you know, how to have the conversations about sexual health as well. I mean, I thought this was a piss take, if I'm honest. I went to the website. I mean, you can Google this. If you type in, you know, Pornhub sexual health, it's an actual website, like pornhub.com/sex, with a real doctor there talking to you. I mean, should porn sites be letting us know about STDs, reproductive health, your body? Have they got a duty to do this, or do you think Pornhub's just trolling us?
I think there's a certain irony, the fact that people sitting masturbating at home alone are being given sexual health advice. I mean, they're the last people who are going to need it, right? I mean, that's a bit, they've missed the mark a little bit there, haven't they?
Yeah. I mean, I'm a wanker, and I don't suppose I'd really want to go onto a site that's going to tell me about sexual health, because I don't think it'll be at the top of my list. Yeah, you're right about that.
And I think as well, well, I don't know, I mean, I suppose I was about to say it's teenage boys who might need to be educated, isn't it? But actually, let's face it, it's every bloke,
every person,
basically. Yeah,
every person.
I think it's definitely responsible, because the one of the problems with pornography, and I think teenage boys get this as well, is that it sells an unrealistic image of sex. So certainly when I first started to have sex, like having spent years watching internet porn, and I mean, we grew up in the age of watching things very slowly buffer and creep down the screen.
You had to earn that porn. You had to listen. People are spoilt with tabs now. You can open multiple tabs and stream. No, we had to sit there for 10 minutes sometimes just for one high quality picture. It wasn't a GIF. It didn't move. You had to work with that.
Praying that the dial-up works.
Yeah, if someone picks up the phone and fucks up the dial-up.
Mum!
Yeah, it always used to cut off right before the nipples as well. Why did it feel like the nipples took the longest to render? Like, the face would come up, the hair, the shoulders, and when it got to, like, the nipples, you'd be waiting there for 20 minutes just for a nipple to appear. Anyway, you were saying?
But, I mean, we sort of grew up in that era, but now like pornography gives you an unrealistic image of sex, and I certainly thought that. I certainly thought like when I first had sex, like it's gonna be amazing. It's all gonna be big boobed Playboy bunnies with California accents, yeah, who want me to hop in a jacuzzi with them, and it's not like that. Of course, it's not like, and you have to have and also you get to realise the fact that there's another human being involved, and it's a two-way street, and it's like we were talking about before. Like there is often an emotional connection, not always, but it's also it's two people doing something that they want to do together. So I think if it can sort of, these little 15-year-old lads, if it can sort of go, well, hang on, like it's not all sort of big boobed Playboy bunny types. Like there is another side to it. So pop a Johnny on, mate. Like it's responsible, I suppose.
And to be fair, if you're a 13, 14-year-old and you're watching these sorts of stuff, let's be honest, that's the age of people that check out stuff. And upwards, obviously, you don't really see many condoms in porn. I mean, you do get an occasional condom. In fact, you're usually like, is he fucking wearing a condom? Oh, fucking, I wonder what's going on there. But like, so I suppose if you've got that expectation of not wearing a condom, people are just going to go and do that anyway. Like,
that's a good
so they're
point,
going to just be like, gung ho. So maybe they're trying to counteract it. But if I'm honest, I'm not a big fan of porn. Now, I am, but I'm not because I am. Because like you said, it's not real. Like, it's not realistic. Yeah. And yes, I've had some sexual experiences that I would say, yeah, you know what? Shit, there should have been a camera in the room, because you know what? I would be proud of that. Let's put that on the big screen and show it to the boys at Christmas. No, but like at the same time, I'm like, if all you watch is like, super hyped up porn, then when it becomes the real thing, you're going to be like, you're going to let yourself down a little bit, because it isn't like that, bruv.
But at a risk of giving too much about my personal life away, I look to sort of find stuff that most closely replicates my actual experience. And I think, I remember a partner like that, or that's someone I would actually fancy in real life. Not some girl in like see-through stilettos, like with a pair of beach balls on her chest, like pretending to, like, someone comes to fix her fridge and the next thing you know it's an 8-way gangbang. Like that very rarely happens in real life.
It does, yeah, but like you said, not often enough, really. Not in my life anyway. But yeah, no, I'm with you on that. I do like a cheesy storyline though. Sometimes they are funny when you see like friggin' Lord of the Rings and stuff like that, but the porn version. But
it's like, get your bow out, Legolas.
But yeah, man, like it's interesting because like I said, I'm a fan. I'm not a fan because I am a fan, and I felt like I was watching a lot of porn at one point, and I'm now I'm pornless. I don't watch porn. I don't watch porn because I'm just like, let me just go and get the real thing. Yeah, let me just go and get the real thing because I can. Maybe there'll be a point in my life when I can't. Then I'll lean on porn. Yeah, but what am I doing now?
That's when you find it's actually like you indulge at the most when you're actually at your lowest. So it's like if you split up with someone and like say you're not going out much and meeting girls much, that's when you find you are deep in the Pornhub universe. You got favourites in the Pornhub universe. You know what part of the video to put it to because that's your favourite part. None of this bit at the start. I can type in the whole URL one-handed.
Yeah, so that's it, man. Pornhub have got a sexual health website. I mean, they've got areas about sexuality, relationships, real talk. They've got STDs, reproductive health. And so Pornhub are trying to be sensible. And at the same time, there is an app that's come out and it's being used as a form of contraceptive. That's right, an app as a form of contraceptive. And this app is known as Natural Cycles and it monitors the fertility algorithms of women. It has a bunch of algorithms that monitors women's fertility. Now, it's the German Department of Health has approved it and says it can now be prescribed in Europe and the UK like the pill or condoms. Now, I think that is bullshit, but we're going to wait for a fact checker to get back on that one. But we'll roll this out at the moment. But it uses a method similar to the rhythm, telling women how fertile they are and therefore when they can have sex at little risk of getting pregnant. So, you got mates that are like, well, I know a few people that are like, no, I don't use any contraception. I just have sex at the right time because there's certain times when I can't get pregnant. And I'm like, mate, why are you playing that fucking game?
That's risky.
That's risky. But apparently this app is a real thing. Costs $6.99. I've not. You know what, Joe? I'm going to look for it right now. But you were saying
that is. I mean, that is the most irresponsible thing I've ever heard. Because the point of the contraception is that is such a stunted view of it. It's not to stop people getting pregnant. It's fundamentally, so it's obviously so people don't get pregnant, but it's so you don't get horrible sexually transmitted diseases. So like what? So you meet some girl, or she meets some awful bloke in the kebab shop, like a couple of people who've limped off Jeremy Kyle, and then suddenly what? They both check their app and go at it, and that's absolutely fine. And next thing you know, it's gonorrhea central. That's so unacceptable.
Isn't it fucked up that
Yeah.
that Pornhub are trying to make us safe,
Yeah.
and then an app is out there just trying to say bang away.
The Germans
You're cool.
are trying to get us at it.
Yeah, it's a real app. I've just downloaded it. Natural Cycles, the fertility monitor, and it has like a thing that says, like a main screen that says not fertile or fertile. Basically, bang away after you put your details in.
Really?
I don't know what details to put in because I don't actually have a cycle, so I don't know. Use protection. It says on some days. Fuck an app telling me whether you. I always use protection.
Yeah.
Always use protection. But apparently there's 10,000 UK users already. There's going to be probably like 5,000 kids in the next 9 months.
That's a worry, isn't it? And that's also, it's deeply unsexy. So like, I don't want to be at a situation with a girl. So say we've gone out on a few dates. It's finally that moment. I think, this is great. This feels really right. And she goes, hang on a sec. I'm just going to check my app. And then you scan through it together. Oh my God.
Yeah.
No, bedtime, thank you very much. Not up for it anymore.
Fuck that. But I don't know how this app is allowed out there, because isn't it?
Yeah.
I feel like it's promoting Raw Dog style, and as great as that feels, you know, there's things like you can catch like an STD. You know, there's various flavors of those. Some the doctors can help you with, some the doctors can't.
Big time.
And you can also catch this thing called a kid as well. Like, and apparently that's really expensive. Yeah. Apparently you pay for that for the rest of your life.
Yeah. So I mean, that is hugely irresponsible of the Germans.
Mad, it's crazy. So do you think we're going to see an increase of kids if there's loads of apps like this out there, then sort of saying, yeah, bang raw? Or do you think we're going to see more STDs, or both?
I think probably sexually transmitted diseases have got to be at an all-time high, haven't they, anyway? Because firstly, apps like that. Secondly, hookup apps. Thirdly, let's face it, we're all pretty promiscuous these days, and also in this country we drink too much.
Yeah.
And after you've had 7, 8, 9 pints, the last thing you're thinking is, right, where's my prophylactic? I'm going to be nice and sensible now. You're thinking, I mean, you're not even taking your socks off. You're diving straight into bed, aren't you? So, I mean... Yeah, I think that's the sort of thing that's on the up, and the last thing we need is the German health ministry helping with it.
I reckon if there is a real life zombie apocalypse, it's not going to be transferred through biting. It's not going to be something in the air. I think it's going to be an STD driven zombie apocalypse. I think people are going to be banging, and the next day they're going to wake up as a zombie. And their job as a zombie is going to be to look really sexy, but straight after they have sex, they'll try and eat their victim, and then their victim will run away because they won't be quick enough. They won't be able to eat them, and then they'll go and fornicate with someone else. I think that's what's going to happen. The next zombie apocalypse is going to be STD apocalypse.
That is a movie I'd like to see. Yeah, 28 Lays Later. That's the one.
28 Lays Later. Fuckopocalypse.
Yeah,
I reckon it could happen. But yeah, man, crazy out there. So what has Joe done to the show?
mate, I'm sorry.
One day, me, you, any male out there may be able to have a vibrating appendage. That's right.
Right.
There's a gentleman called Lee. He's a grinder, which is a member of a niche community of biohackers. I thought that was the people that use a certain app out there, but anyway. They push the limit of what they can implant into their bodies. He's got tiny magnets in his ear, which work as earphones. He has magnets in his fingers. They don't do anything useful, but he just likes to pick up shit at the moment with them. He has an implant to gauge his temperature, and also has a near-field control piece of tech that he uses alongside a text-speech app, which reads him articles before bed. As well as all that sort of stuff, he's experimenting with trying to put a vibrating implant in his penis, just below the skin, to bring pleasure to the opposite sex. He's called the device the Lovetron 9000, and he's into doing that sort of stuff. This is next level sexual stimulation.
Yeah.
Like over the last few shows, we've spoken about men not having enough service in terms of sexual toys. Now we found out that it's possible for people to put vibrators in their penis.
I think... Well, firstly, I know what Lee's getting at. So one thing I do like that he's done is he's got magnets in his fingers. It's because basically, if he's not met someone before, they're going to think he's Magneto. When he puts his hand over a whole load of paper clips, he's going to look like an X-Man.
Yeah.
I think they tell you not to put your phone too close to your knob, don't they? So let alone having a vibrating chip in it, or so that can't be good for you, can it?
I'm just thinking, what if it goes off at the wrong time?
Yeah.
You're in a job interview or something like that. Or you're just at work and your dick starts vibrating, because that's going to feel nice for you as well.
Yeah.
You've got a vibrating dick, or you're on the train and someone just hears
and then looks down.
Yeah, looks down, and you're wearing tracksuit bottoms instead of jeans
so
that
shaking,
day.
Yeah.
Your dick's flopping all over the place. But I mean, this is the sort of thing where I don't think I'd have under the skin, but I'd be interested in hearing more about, sort of thing. But I don't think I'm brave enough to have something put. Like, my woods are precious, isn't it? It's mine.
Well, that's the thing. It's an area I never want a scalpel to go near at any stage. But also, I don't know. I mean, people having plastic surgery, that's absolutely their choice. And I know, well, for example, I know girls who've had boob jobs, and more than anything, for confidence.
Yeah.
So I've got a good friend of mine who basically, she had a boob job, and it's the best thing she ever did because she used to feel so self-conscious about it. And I get that. But personally, I don't think beyond that. I just think just for the aesthetics, or just because you can, I don't think people should change their bodies. Like, you see these people who have these, I mean, Hollywood celebrities who've got these mad stretched faces and these huge, like, blimp-like boobs and bum implants and these odd sort of sausage lips. I think it's just an extension of that, and I think it's quite an odd thing to do. And I also think it's a bit of an unethical thing to do for a doctor. What doctor are you finding when you ring round and go, oh, how'd you do vibrating knob implants? No, surely not.
I reckon the price is going to be high though, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
You're going to have to pay a lot for it. A rich doctor, a rich, insane doctor that's like, whoa, yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a bit out there, but I think people, just because we can, people will.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's a good selling point though, isn't it? I suppose, like, if there's a girl who's sort of not sure about you, and you go, by the way, I'm the guy with the vibrating knob, you might go, oh, well, that could be interesting.
Yeah, I'll try it. You know what I'd have? I'd have a vibrating finger.
Just one.
Yeah, just like the one, just yeah. Oh, yeah. Imagine you could do just running that down the side of someone's face. Oh, yes.
Imagine how scared they'd be if you hadn't told them. You said, what's that? Shh.
Yeah, I'd go the vibrating finger, because you know, I've got 10 fingers. Well, I've got 8 fingers and 2 thumbs, so I can. If it fucks up, yeah, I can handle it, yeah.
Yeah.
But also, if it works, that's some good arse tech to have. A vibrating finger. Yeah. I'd be unstoppable.
Yeah.
Or not a vibrating tongue. Nah, you only get one tongue. That's it.
Then you can't talk properly. You've got a vibrating tongue if it goes off.
But anyway, that wraps up this episode of How to Skin Loud. Thank you very much, Joe, for bringing this level of smut to the show. And we're no strangers to smut on the show, so thank you for articulating yourself while we throw these at you. There's plenty of ways to kill some time out there. He's been Joe Forrester.
He's been Marcus Bronzy.
Cheers.